Well, all right. There's millions of aspects in Jewish life you can talk about, you can touch, and everything is interesting. It's interesting very much. Whoever is interesting in Jewish life, in Jewish heritage. But you ask me about history. Let me tell you, Jewish history is different between histories from other nations. Every history from any folk, from any nation, from the world, has a distance in time, has a past, has a present, has a beginning. And what is history? History actually records events. Records is like a book where you write down whatever is happening with this here nation during their existence. History does not ask questions. History does not answer questions. History does not analyze problems. Jewish history is different. In our Jewish history, we don't have a dimension in time. We have no distance between the past and the present. It's one. When we talk about Rabbi Akiva, which happened, one of the victims because of the Jewish spirit, he was killed by the Romans. When we talk about Rabbi Akiva, we don't talk about something that's happened 2,000 years ago and forget about it. It's ancient history. Rabbi Akiva lives with us, in us. We are carrying him from generation to generation. There's no distance in time. When we talk about the Maccabees, who fought with the Greek in order to prevent the annihilation of the Jewish spirit, of the Jewish culture. In their fight with the Syrians, in their defeat the Syrians, in their liberated the Holy Temple, that time 2,000 years ago. In our time, the boys in Warsaw Ghetto who uprised against the Nazis, they fought also not for life, and not for territory, also for the Jewish spirit. They are a part of the Maccabees. There's no distance in time. In our time, our Jewish boys, we all fought to liberate the wall from the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. And we liberated it. The Maccabees 2,000 years ago, they liberated the Holy Temple, the Beit HaMikdash. In our time, they fought in the same place to liberate the wall around the temple. Is there any difference? It's the same thing, the same Maccabees. It's the same fight, the same struggle, the same victory. There is no distance in time, it's the same. When we talk about the Rambam, Maimonides, who lived 800 years ago, he is with us. He is in us. We quote him every day. We live with him. We live with his creation. So in Jewish history, there is no such a thing as time. When we talk about Yetziat Mitzrayim, about the exit from Egypt, in a few weeks later, you're going to sit down by the Seder and you're going to read about it. You're going to talk about it, just like it would happen yesterday. There's nothing you can separate, or you can run away from it and call it it happened and that's all. Forget about it. No, we don't learn history this way. Jewish history, present and past, is one chain. We are moving in events which happen on the road, on the way of our existence, like the Holocaust, for instance. The Holocaust will be moving in as a part of Jewish life, of Jewish struggle, of Jewish heroism, and of Jewish tragedy. And also, another thing, Jewish history has two. Jewish history goes in two parallel lines, in two trails, I would say. One is agony, is blood, is suffering, is persecution, is pogroms, is Holocaust. The other parallel line, in the same time, is aliyah, is going up, is believing, creativity, building, victories, Jewish culture, Jewish principle of life, to carry on the Jewish life among all the nations in the world. Two parallel lines. One is dark and one is light. and we stepping in the two directions simultaneously. This is our destiny. We cannot help it. And then, why do they hate us? Why? Why they don't like us? Why did Hitler want to kill us out physically? And he did, a third of our nations. Now, anti-Semitism does not start, hatred to the Jew did not start with Hitler, or even not with the death of Christ. It started with the first Jew in the world, with Abraham, who came out with a declaration to the world that there's one God, one invisible God. And then they start calling him the stranger. They start hating him because he created a life by his own, different. He brought, it's a different culture, it's a different faith in something which is strong, which is created the universe. And the other one bowed in worship to statues, to pieces of stone. And Abraham, the first Jew, declared to the world that this is not the real faith. The real faith is something invisible, something strong, something great. And they start hating him for that, because he's different. Now, when Moses brought the 10 Commandments, all the tribes around, all the nations, they didn't want to take it, didn't want to adopt that. The Jews adopted it. Because over there already, you had the first constitution of moral life, of ethic, and of the real principle of life. Don't steal, don't kill, respect your parents, don't desire what somebody else has, be satisfied with your own. This is the principles, this is the base of nice cultural life, of ethical life. And they start hating them for that. The people hate us for that, because we are the police for the morality. They don't want that. They want the other way. They want to kill, they want to steal. So it started a fight against the Jewish faith, against Judaism, plain and simple as that. They don't like our Torah, they don't like our soul, they don't like our believing, they don't like our way of life, our way of thinking, because it's good. For instance, the Greeks, 2,000 years ago, they came to us and they said we should adopt their religion, we should stop believing in our God and in our Torah and in our principles. Because they said, what is beautiful, this is true. We said, what is true, this is beautiful. These are the two principles which part us. And of course, we didn't give in, and we fought, and we defeated them. The Spanish Inquisition came, Spain came, Turkmenistan came. He says, let's take out the believing from the Jew. And they started. And Jews start converting. Because they said, if you're going to convert, you're one of us, you can achieve high careers, and you'll be one of us, and nothing will happen to you, you'll be rich and famous, and you can live. As long as you throw away your believing. So the Jew did it partially, but deep in their heart, they remain Jews. When they want observers say that, they did it in the cellars. Nobody should see it. Nobody should hear it. And they're called the Marranos for that. Now, when they catch a Jew, when they caught him observing Jewish laws, they burn them alive. This is the Oita d'Affaire. This is the Inquisition. What did they want from us? Just we should throw away our faith. Now Hitler was the smartest of all anti-Semites, the smartest of all our enemies. He said, and he knew Jewish history, he knew all about it. And he said, if you want to take away their soul, their spirit, kill it, burn it, get it. And a dead Jew, there's no soul, there's no believing, there's no culture anymore. And that's what he did. But he forgot one principal thing. And that's what the world should learn about it. And I know our Jews should learn, and the world should learn about it. That you can burn a Jew and burn his body, but never his spirit. His spirit and his ideals remain alive. always, after he's dead. This is the whole principle, this is the whole mystery of our existence. In all the generations, you're going to read it in the Haggadah now, but the Seder, B'kol dor v'dor, amdu aleinu lekalotenu. In every generation, they're coming up to kill us. But God saves us. Over there in this time, they talk that everything is from God. And God saved our existence. And let me tell you, this is a good lesson that the world should learn, that you cannot, you will not annihilate Judaism. This cannot be, because this is a God-given idea. It's a God-given culture, which no man alive can erect that. There's no such a thing. We are, maybe in this respect, we are the chosen to spread around among humanity the laws of life, the laws of dignity, of dignifying life, the laws of ethic and of moral. How a person, how a human have to behave to each other. And maybe, and not maybe, I believe, that will come a time, sooner or later, it has to come a time, when it's going to, the realization of the prophet Isaiah will come true. It is written that Lo yisa go al go cheref, velo yilmadu ot milchama. No nation should raise a sword over another nation, and they should never learn war. This is the prophecy of our people. This is Judaism. This is the principle of Judaism. If you believe in that, we call it Messiah. Right? When the world will live in one piece, nobody will hate the other. This is Messiah. This is Messianism. And another thing I want to finish with you, that the whole world, all the Jews, I mean, it's a Jewish issue, and we talk about it. It's who it's us, nobody else. That because of the Holocaust, the state of Israel arose because of the Holocaust. When I say just the contrary, if there would be a Israel, there would be no Holocaust.